it just depends on the day, Maggie. Today we have, let's see, what do we have here today? Mount Popo in Mexico is its largest eruption so far in 2012, was on 16th of April. Very heavy ashfall. Magma was not reported at the summit. Let's see, the Etna volcano still erupting sporadically. Summary of worldwide volcanic activity this week includes, let's see, don't really see anything here. Just the typical candidates. Still watching the Santorini in Greece volcano subterranean activity there, volcano under this ocean, submarine activity. Let's see. Colombia actually is up to red alert. They have a couple of volcanoes have erupted recently. It looks like El Hierro, Spain is still spewing lava. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 volcanoes erupting in Africa still, with the potential of 3 more that they think are going to erupt. Indonesia has 7 volcanoes erupting, with 3 more that have erupted in the last month. Interestingly enough, there has been a media blackout on any news from Yellowstone National Observatory since 2005. A lot of people aren't aware of that. Yeah, a media blackout on Yellowstone news, unless it comes from the Yellowstone National Observatory itself. And I think that Homeland Security is actually enforcing that, just like they enforce pictures and video coming out of the Gulf. You cannot show any negative impact. Right now they're in tourism mode, trying to bring people and industry back to the Gulf region. So anything negative would be immediately dealt with. It's the same thing with Yellowstone National Caldera. The last real activity I heard was from February of 2011, where stories came out in the UK online mail, I believe it's called, in German and Spain newspapers that were reporting a 10-foot mounding and bulging displacement in Yellowstone National Park, as well as 25% of the Yellowstone National Park remaining closed since 2005. This is the Norris Basin Lake area where the lake has been displaced to the south, I believe. There's mounding going on at the north, and the water mounded towards the south and inundated a forest. That whole area is still off limits. There's been some heating in the area, some sulfur dioxide releases. Nothing that would be considered or imminent volcanic activity. However, there have been 3.3 to 4.4 magnitude earthquakes south of the caldera near Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Then none of these earthquakes ever made it to a USGS map. And there are still a lot of stories centered in and around Yellowstone caldera coming out of the UK online mail and these other publications that I just mentioned. But anywhere but the United States, you can get information on Yellowstone National Caldera. Yeah, well, they're having problems of their own over there. We'll let you see, Maggie, dormant volcano under a lake that they believe is because they're getting methanes, natural gas, and sulfur dioxides in and above the water. So that shows signs. And they're also having harmonic seismicity, and that has to do with magma. Whenever you hear the word harmonic seismicity, that's always magma, or usually always magma, or displacement of fluids under the crust. Um, it's kind of like a vibration. Uh, it's a it vibrates because it's moving. The viscosity and the pressure is moving, and it shakes the ground, kind of like a earthquake. But they're much lower in seismicity. They don't shake a lot, but the shaking is continuous.